then we are going to go live, hopefully over here. Go live. There we go. I think I'm live. I don't know.
Hopefully.
I feel like I'm doing something wrong over here. So anyway, hi, Pat.
Hello. What's going on?
Oh, God. Obviously, I don't know what I'm doing on this thing. So just give me 2 seconds. I thought I was live there. There we go. Live video. Live with Pat Lapp. I made one mistake. All right, go live. I don't know why. It's not letting me. All right, hold on. I got to come back. I'm sorry.
Okay. Bye.
Oh, I know what I did wrong. If anybody, hey guys, whoever's watching, somebody's watching, I got to edit this. I got to go off my Instagram. Control V. I'm pretending I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, just by saying Control V.
I had to hit save, and apparently, so this is Eric. Hi, Eric. I'm trying to go live on Instagram at the same time, and for some reason, it won't let me. So we're gonna have to avoid that one, I guess.
Yeah, anyway, you can post it.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so let's come back to you. Forget it. I don't know what happened. I'm really sorry about that. So, Pat, as always, first of all, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being live with me. Secondly, welcome. The big thing I always want to ask is, you know what? You've been around for a while. How long have you been doing this stuff?
Almost 10 years now. I don't know. Maybe. I don't remember. Yeah, almost 10 years.
So tell us, what's your origin story?
I used to work with my grandparents between Quebec and Montreal. That's in Shawinigan. So I used to work there, making a living, making furniture, outdoor furniture. And then my grandfather decided to close the door, so I had to find something else. So I decided to move to Montreal to pursue another path. So I decided to go study in communication, and then I studied humor and graphic design. But I was missing working in the shop because that was like my background for 20 years. So each weekend I would go back to Shawinigan in my grandparents' basement, starting doing things for me. I didn't know any social at the time. Like I didn't know YouTube, I didn't know Instagram, everything. I just went there just to make things and make videos for myself. Then I saw that was possible for me to post it on YouTube. I was kind of just building a portfolio, if you want. And then I realized that there were a big community around that. I thought I was the only one. I thought I was a genius first. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to be the funny woodworker. I'm going to be alone, and I'm going to be a star in no days.
That's what we all think, right?
What?
That's what we all think. This is going to take off.
Yes. And one day, David Picciuto was hosting. You know David Picciuto?
No.
He's on Making It podcast with Jim DeResta and Bob Clagett. Yeah. He used to host a show called I don't remember the name. That was a weekly wrap up about people that he found in the last week or so. And then he mentioned me, but one day I realized that, oh, boom, 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 boom. I have a lot of comments and I'm taking off. Well, I was at 10 subscribers. So for me, 10 to 1,000, I was like, oh yeah, fuck, I'm viral, man. and then I realized, oh, okay, I'm not alone in that. There's a big community. And I think he mentioned Paul Jackman at that time too. So I started following Paul. I didn't know Jimmy at all at the time. I started following Paul. And from that video I've been mentioned, someone contacted me and said, hey man, do you want to do a collab with me? And I remember thinking, oh, oh, we can make collabs. I want to make collabs, but I don't want to make a collab with you. I want to make a collab with Paul Jackman. I didn't say that to that guy, but I started chatting with Paul. It was, I don't know, 6 years ago, maybe 6, 7 years ago. And at that time, I didn't speak English at all. Like I had a little base, but like just enough to order bacon with my eggs in the morning. But
It's really all you need.
yeah, so for maybe a year, I was chatting with Paul with Google Translate open on the second screen.
That's hilarious.
And yeah, and before I knew English, I decided to go to his place. Actually, I wanted to make a road trip, going to see David Picciuto, the one who helped me starting it all, visiting Easywood Tools Company, I think, and going back to Boston area. Oh no, that was in Peabody, near Salem, where Graz lives actually right now. So I've been there, and that the first dinner was really awkward, man.
Oh, I believe it.
What?
I believe it.
Yeah, because he didn't speak French and I didn't speak English. So that was just, I'm gonna, and we're doing some weird signs. That was awkward, but we remain friends till to this day. And yeah, so I kept doing videos, more and more videos. I think I never made it anyway, but I'm making it for fun. I'm making it. I still make that for me.
Yeah.
And in that position, I think it's good. And glad if
Hey, Ryan.
people watch it, but if they don't, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, listen, what else are you gonna do? First, like I said, I want to say this. I was just trying to figure this out, and I can't, and I'm done screwing around with it. We're not live on IG, but I just posted a story there saying that we're live on YouTube. Ryan from RPC, he's in here. He says hi.
Hello, Ryan.
So I love the fact, like, so many people start and doing exactly the same thing as you. They're like, hey, you know what? I started here. I'm playing around with my grandparents. I'm playing around with my parents, and I need to get back to it. And I love to hear that. So I know you went back to school, like you were saying, and you got communications.
Yep.
So how does that influence your fun whenever you're recording?
Well, the first few videos I was making, there were a lot of special effects in that, and like graphic titles and everything. Like lately, I'm just doing like 15 seconds videos, and I'm gonna get back to that later. But I can't wait to do videos like I was doing before, like taking the time to make more long format videos with gags, more like Paul Jackman kind of thing. I like doing that, but it's just not possible right now for me. Oh, am I alone?
Yeah, I was trying to play around there. I was trying to make it right.
I thought I was hosting that.
I just I told you, man, I'm not great with this stuff yet. I just wanted to get on there.
That's fine.
Well, you know what? Listen, that's the thing. So many of us have said it's so hard to do this long form YouTube. This is why, so first of all, and I know Ryan's heard me say this, I truly believe that the short form reels, I enjoy that as an art by itself. Just sitting there editing, trying to get it so it's, something you can edit down to be consumable, and I don't want to say viral, but something that people are definitely going to look at. So the art form is there. You definitely have that down. Watching your videos, the way you pull stuff together, I love to watch that.
Yeah, thank you. But what is nice about creating a big project is from that long format video, you can extract like maybe 500 reels from that. That's what I'm missing right now. What happened is when I moved here. First of all, we were in a condo. Me and Stephanie were in a condo, and during COVID, we decided to move in a house. We bought a house, and I didn't have time to go back in Shawinigan because Shawinigan is 2 hours away from here. So there was a lot of time for me just to get back there, to turn a pen and get back here, edit that video, and so I decided to to first I wanted. Okay, I'm gonna step back a bit. During COVID, we were looking for a house, like an old house that I can restore, and with a big garage, like an okay house with a big garage or at least a big space. And Stephanie wanted more of a new house with a tiny garage, and so we decided to go. We decided to go with the with the new house and the tiny garage.
Well, you know what?
But I was,
As we know, the wife is always right. Listen, we don't argue.
yeah. But when we bought here, I was in that garage. It was empty, and I was like, you know what? I think I can make it work. Anyway, the thing is my thing is the lathe.
Right.
I can put a lathe and a bandsaw here. And funny thing is the lathe is the only thing I don't have now. But it's coming. It's coming. But I got rid of the old one. It's in my other shop. But I started. I started with bandsaw and then the lathe, and then I needed to build furniture, so I needed a miter saw, and then I needed a dust extractor, and blah blah blah. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
And I started making videos for companies just to get those free tools or discount to those tools.
Yeah.
So that's why for the past 2 years I've been doing videos just to, like I became the unboxing channel, which I I'm trying to getting rid of that. I mean I love doing those, but I can't wait to get back on the real projects, like maybe just one video a month, but a long one with declination, with reels and things like that. Yeah, but the thing is, I want to step back a bit. When I started building this shop, one guy trolled me on, I don't remember if it was on Instagram or YouTube, and he said something like, you could never work in that such a tiny space. And from then on, I'm trying to fit as many full-size woodworking tools as possible in here. I have let me take the cell phone right now. I
Yeah.
have,
Take us on a tour.
yeah. So I have the CNC right there. I've put the mirror there so I can see what I'm doing when I'm doing it.
Okay. Ah.
No, that's a job I just did for a friend, and I don't have any space to put it, so I put it there. So this is my miter saw station. Do you see well?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of
Perfect.
messy, but yeah.
I love. Hey, hold on. Go back.
Yeah.
Because I love what you did with the Melbourne tool.
Oh, that's great, eh?
Stand there.
Look at that.
That's sweet with the top opening like that. Oh my god.
Yeah. And Vic, the guy at Melbourne,
Yeah,
which
Tesla.
is yeah, you know him. He said, "Hey, do you use the tools?" And I'm like, nah, "Not really, man, because I don't have it in my face." So I decided to just put it there, having a nice tool wall, and now I'm using the tool more than before.
Well, I love the way you designed it, and I have that. I still haven't had time to do it, but I want to do a version of it. I'm gonna do it actually right this side of me. It's gonna go right there. I have to redo this whole area, and it's gonna be right there.
Yeah, and once it's in your face, you don't have choice to use that.
You know what's better is I don't have a choice but to go digging around for them. All right, I have this one over here and this one over there, because the small shop, we don't have space for that. So
Right.
all right, so keep going the tour.
Yeah. So by doing that, I saved like 2 drawers there. So I have more space to fit more tools. So I have the gyro, the dust collector here.
That's big.
Yeah, but I used to have the regular one, the big bags.
Yeah.
It was there, but it was eating a lot of space. So I decided to go with that, so I can build a top over that. So that's the continuity of my miter station,
Yeah,
which is
makes
perfect.
sense.
It doesn't take much space. Well, it takes less space than it was before. I have the drill press there. And by the way, everything is on wheels here. So when I'm doing lathe things, I put the lathe in the middle, and then I store it back. And same thing when I use the drill press, I'm putting it in a more comfortable place. I'm using
Right.
that, and so everything, the sander, the planer is there too. So when I'm planing, I'm putting it in the center.
Oh, wait. That's perfect. Hold on. And you have one of those collapsible ladders there too.
Yeah, right there.
That's genius. Okay.
Yep. so I can climb on the
Yeah.
mezzanine. So that's the thing. I don't have I mean, the space isn't big, but it's the height is great.
Yeah, that's
So
very
I
helpful.
can look at that. I can, like, my lumber rack is there, and I have a ton of wood. Well, at least a ton of wood for me. More that I can use. So that's the tool wall there too. My turning tools are there.
Yeah. There's the helmet.
Yeah,
Someone
the
was
famous
telling me
helmet.
today that someone was telling me today, they're like, you better make sure he wears the helmet.
So the lathe was there, and it's
Uh-huh.
gonna be there soon too. And the MFT, I can move it whenever I want to move it. And you know what? I want to fit a table saw in the middle this year too.
I don't know how you're gonna get anything there with a table saw. That's crazy.
I know, but if I can use the table saw as a workbench, I might be able to make it work. Like if I'm putting a sheet of MFD on top, just to not ruin it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's not the priority because I have track saws too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, you can do so much with the track saw today.
yeah.
Although, first of all, I wanted to say hi to Aaron, Aaron's probably this guy stay at home woodworks. He's probably the guy who trolled you because he's a jerk. I'm just I'm just kidding. And you know, I honestly think that the track saw for 90% of what you want to do that could probably take over for what you're needing for a table saw for
Yeah, yeah,
90% of it. Um,
yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about it because what I want to do, first I want to stop playing with my beard because that's hard
I
to
do
just.
that all the time. Yep.
I know you're like it's this, yeah. I need. I'm
You
gonna
want to play
make
with mine
something.
instead?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I know that's a nice big one. So what I really want to do is I want to create another part for my bench top. Actually, is I want to make a thing that the track saw can sit on, almost like the MFT bench, where I can just sort of put it in and it'll automatically align. Um, and that's a big thing for me because I use my table saw all the time, but I like to think about things like that for the small shop and how you can utilize the space. Because man, a table saw in there with your lathe, dude. How are you even going to walk around?
Yeah, I need to go to do a bit of math, so I need to call Paul Jackman for that. But as I said, everything is on wheels. Even my sharpening station is there. So that's a Tormek sharpening
Yeah.
station. But from casters, same thing there. Oh, by the way, this is the router stand for from Gesem, like the
Okay.
router cables. So everything here is made with Gesem stuff.
Oh
So
wow.
look, yeah, they made custom brackets for me. Shout out to Jessam, they're fantastic, and everything is like that's just a router stand. Yeah,
I mean, that's impressive how much you have in there. Do you? I know you do. In the summer, you'll open up the door and you'll use the space open. Can you do that?
yeah, that's what I do all summer.
Well, I
Otherwise, it's
wasn't
too
sure,
hot in here anyway. But
but I wasn't sure. Like the neighbors, is it? It's a small home.
yeah,
It's not a. How close are your neighbors? Do they get upset if you do that
oh man,
stuff?
they're just an arm reach from me. They're super close. But first of all, I think they like me, and I like them, so that's. That's cool. But outside of the garage, you can't really hear anything. Last summer, I tried to start off all the machines, like the dust collector. I crank it to the top, and the RV is not that noisy anyway. But I cranked it to the top. I started the bandsaw, the miter saw at the same time, and I was outside, and I can't hear anything.
Oh, that's perfect.
Like,
So,
like my phone speaker was louder than that.
oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
nice. All right, so like this, someone that just said they'll be rewatching this live to take notes, and so because of the small space. So I'm there with you. One of my biggest suggestions to people is always to make sure that all your tools, everything you have, is on wheels. Right? What's your second? What would be your number two for the small shop space suggestion for people?
Uh, it needs to be pretty well organized. Even though it's on casters, you need to think about that. I mean, I'm working on that for 3 years now, and I think I got an okay setup, but I'm sure there's still some improvements because each time someone, my father-in-law enters here, like if it was Harbor Freight, like he enters here and do you have yeah, you know I have it. Come on, just shoot it.
Yeah, right.
But
And
each
it's
time
all
he enters,
organized.
yeah. But each time he enters the shop, he's like, "There's new stuff in here, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there's new stuff. I just installed that. Like my Bessie clamps, I'm using all the wall space for that. I have all my clamps here, and I still have. You know what? I still have a spot there, but I don't want to feel it soon because I don't know. I still don't know.
You could mount the lathe up there on on the like you did with the Onefinity. You just have to
Maybe,
turn
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
from below.
That's funny because I think that Stone contacted me first, and Stone at Onefinity, and
Yeah.
he said, "Hey, are you interested in getting a CNC?" And I'm like, "Fuck, man, I don't have any space here for a CNC. I mean, I can put it on the, I don't know, on the roof with I don't know, a system that can drop it down." And he said, "No, we have a wall mounted one." I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
Sure, man, I have a lot of wall space here."
So what do you think about using it from the on the side like that? How's that work out for you?
Oh, for what I'm doing, this is perfect. You know what? I made a little fence here. Do you see that?
Yep. That's smart.
So I'm just putting it here, and I'm using double-sided tape just to hold it, and that. It's working fine. That's a pretty powerful machine, man. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it is. It is. Um, no, that's nice because I've seen that. I've never used it like that, and it always makes me a little nervous because it's obviously it's on the side and you have to hold on to something, but then you got pieces that are gonna shoot down and around, and I always worry it's gonna get stuck and mess up the rails or something.
Yeah, no, but I have no problem so far. And I don't remember his name. The guy at Airways contacted me to.
Jace,
Oh
Jace,
yeah, Grace. Yeah. So you want to install a kit for me? So that's gonna be perfect.
those are nice. I have the 24 by 24 and I love it. I need a 24 by 48 to really be able to use it, but it's an amazing system.
I think they just released a 16 by 16, so I can put four in that 32 by 32. That's the
That's a good
woodworker
idea.
I got. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I was thinking about getting another 24 by 24 one. So talk to me about the lathe work. When did you start doing lathe stuff?
that's the thing. As I said, I was doing outdoor furnitures with my grandparents,
Yeah.
and it was cool, but I needed something else. And then one day I started. It was in the early my early YouTube age. I started watching Carl Jacobson. He's a wood turner. He still do wood turning on YouTube right now, and his early videos. And each time I'm talking about that, you think I'm trolling him, but I'm serious. Like his first videos were so relaxing because first he didn't know how to edit, so that was just from A to Z. You have all the projects, like that's just a sequence
Yeah.
from the top, and you see the work. So you see him working for, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes working on a box or something, but you see every steps, and he's talking, and I found it so relaxing and soothing. And but each time I'm telling him, he says, "No, you're kidding me. Those videos were shit." But that's my favorite one. And so I discovered the lathe from him, and I decided to get a crappy one, like that was the Harbor Freight version, like a tiny lathe, maybe that cost me $55. I don't know. Just a tiny lathe, enough to make pens and things like that. And I got hooked like in a second. So that year I bought a bigger one that I modified. That was a King Canada one. It wasn't that great, but I decided to put risers to be able to turn big balls, and then I fell in love with wood turning. This is the best thing ever. I just can't wait to get my new one here.
What's the new one going to be?
That's going to be the Harvey T60.
So I know you've used Harvey before because I saw you using them at Maker Camp.
And Maker Camp, yeah.
So I know nothing at all about wood turning, and I've told you a couple different times that I need you to teach me. I'm really looking for a ghost type scenario, like the movie Ghost, where you're behind me guiding my hands, and I'm really looking for that. Uh, it always does. It looks so relaxing. It looks like so much fun.
Yeah,
I'm
and it is. It is.
my problem with it, and I think a lot of people are here, is that I'm afraid it's going to be too relaxing and too addictive, and then I'm going to have fill up all my extra shop space with lathes.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of the problem, I think, uh, because for sure you're gonna love that. Everyone who's trying that is falling in love. Is in love with that. Like my buddy, again, you know him, Vic Teslin. He just started turning too, and he's a flat woodworker. He used to work
Yeah,
just with end planes and things like that, but he started turning, and he messaged me saying, "Hey man, I'm hooked." That's it.
I saw his reel the other day. I was laughing about that. All right,
But that's
so
fun because you can go from A to Z with like with a piece of log. You put it on the, you chuck it on the lathe, and at the end of the day, you have like a bowl or a platter or a pen or something. It's so much fun.
okay, so and again, my lathe understanding here, my turning understanding is very small. Don't you start with a green piece of wood? Can
You
you?
can
Or you can do dry wood too, right?
you can do dry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The advantage of doing dry wood is you can finish it right away.
Right.
Doing green wood, you need to let it dry. By drying, it's gonna warp. So unless that's the effect you want, some people doing are doing some cups or some bowls, very thin bowls, and they let it dry like that, so it warps a bit and it gives some character to that. But you can do both. What I like about green turning is it lubricates the tool as you go.
Okay.
This is so relaxing. That makes some long, the long ribbons
Yeah.
you see when someone is turning
Yeah.
a bowl or something. Yeah. So that's from Greenwood.
Well, Tony Pep, who just popped in here, you know Tony,
Hey,
you met
Tony.
him, yeah. So I know he does great turning too, and maybe I have to go down and visit him because it's more likely than me going up to Toronto, or Quebec, sorry, and visiting you guys. So you and Jackman turned some massive pieces. Let's talk first. How did the making fun thing, the TV show, how did that come to be? And then let's talk about some of the stuff that you guys made there. So
Yeah, yeah.
how did that happen? You're a
Again,
guy on YouTube.
it all started because of Paul. Paul, it's a couple of years ago, he hit 100,000 subscribers. And by doing that, you can rent the YouTube studio for an hour or so, I think a couple of hours maybe. So he invited me, he invited Graz, he invited Jimmy and Derek there to build his celebration video for that milestone. And we got there to build a giant Adirondack chair, which was insane, by the way. And after that, from I think he posted an Instagram story or a post with us together, and a producer saw that and probably thinks, "Hey, I want to work with those goofballs."
Yeah.
And it took like 3 or 4 years to get it set up. We shot a pilot like 2 years before Making Fun, which was not making fun at all. It was just that was I don't know, like a kind of a building show, like basic building show with the five of us, but that wasn't Making Fun. And after that, someone took the ball and decided to work with us on Making Fun.
Well, that's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
you got, like I said, you guys made some really big things. You made, if I remember right, a giant. You were making a giant pizza shooter out of a log,
Yeah.
right?
This one was fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How did
Yeah.
that go? Like, I can't imagine you guys, and I know, the magic of TV, they show, they cut, they edit. Like, what was that really like? How did that come to be?
The hardest part of that was that we had to keep going. I mean, you're turning a log into a cannon. It takes time, man. That's not a pen. I need to turn that, and each time I'm trying to turn, there's the director saying, "Hey Pat, can you shut this off, please? Because we're shooting something else here." Yeah, but you need the cannon tomorrow, man. I need to finish that.
How long did it take to? How long did it take to do it?
It took a couple of days because I roughed out the outside shape, and after that we decided to pull it off the lathe, split it in half, and just hollow out the hole with the chainsaw and everything we could.
Yeah, because how were you going to hollow out the inside?
Yeah, no, that's impossible. That's impossible.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Oh wow. So
we did the nutcracker too on the lathe.
Oh yeah. That's
the
right.
Big head, the big legs, and everything.
That's just nuts. And Jackman loves to build those huge structures. All right. So what was your favorite thing that you guys built on Making Fun?
That is the guitar boat. Yeah, the guitar that's...
Wait, I saw on the wall. At least turn to the wall to show the one part of it that you brought.
Oh yeah. I got the paddle.
Dude, I remember. Yeah, I remember watching that episode, and I was so impressed with how well those paddles came out. Because you guys did
color I had the unicorn horn there too. Do you see that?
Yeah. Because you guys did colored epoxy with that, and I remember, like, I literally was watching there. I think my daughter came down. She's like, "Dad, what are you yelling about?" I was like, "That's so cool! Look how good that looks." All right, well, that was a fun one.
And the guitar, what I'm most proud about the guitar is I told Paul during the process that there's that website called steelmac.com where we can calculate the frets. So it's legit. So we put the frets
at
the place they need to be. So the guitar, of course, you can't play a chord on that, but each string itself is perfectly tuned.
That's come on, that is really cool. That's a lot of fun. So if you guys ever get the opportunity to do that show again, what would be your dream build with the guys one last time?
Man, you know what? That's I think my dream would be to work with those guys again. No matter what I'm building.
Well, you guys are a good crew. It all worked out well.
That was so fun, so nice, and I hope that people can see that through the stream, because that's not acting at all. We're ourselves. That was a bit stiff, like for the first few episodes, like the first one and the second one. But when we got this going, like we were at the end of the shoot, we were ready to shoot the second one. Like we were.
Yeah.
Snappy and everything. I would have been ready to start again.
Well, I think that's one of the things that really worked out well with the show is that you guys felt genuine. Nobody felt like they were acting about enjoying it or making this stuff or having fun. You know, that I think was one of the things that, so there's someone else who's just logging off who is an amazing turner. This is RJ Wood Design Rubin. He's in Europe, but he turns amazing stuff as well. I love his work. So see, this is why, like, I got all these people that do turning and I'm like, I got to get into that. No, I think you guys, it really came across as genuine, and I don't want to say anything, but I got Graz coming on here in 2 weeks as well. I don't want to say which one of you guys is my favorite, but you are on before him. So
I think everyone in the crew has something. I wish Justine was in there more often though, because we decided to make her jump at the end, but that wasn't. I mean, she wasn't supposed to be there, and we decided that would be cool to get her. But yeah, and people thought that she was there to. Some people, not people, but some people thought that she was there just to play the token, which wasn't true at all, because Justine is so talented. By the way, go follow her. I don't know if you follow her on Instagram and TikTok.
I don't know if I do, but I will.
Yeah. She's an amazing artist. Seriously, yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'll be able to follow her on TikTok, because remember, here in the States we have this TikTok ban coming down, so we might not. It's supposed to start in the next couple of days. We'll
Okay,
see
just
what
before,
happens.
follow me, guys, on TikTok before it's too late.
And Instagram and YouTube, especially YouTube. All right. So what is it? Let me, there's a couple places I want to go here. What is your favorite thing to make? You know, not including late, not, you know, if you're, even if you're turning something, what is your favorite thing that you like to make the most?
I don't have things I like to make the most, but the lathe is definitely the thing, like the machine I love to be
Yeah.
on.
All right.
I'd say bowls. Yeah, I think bowl turning is my favorite thing to do.
There's
Like
a
big
lot of
bowls, big
different,
siding bowls.
there's a
What?
lot of different things you can do with it.
Yeah.
So what has been your biggest,
One more thing. 1 second. I'll be back. Oh, I need. 1 second. So that's the advantage of having a small shop is you don't have space.
so he gets to climb around and I can go climb around too. I mean, I could climb up on my desk. I'll climb up on my workbench behind me. I'll fall off there.
So that may sound awkward, but one of the things I like to make the most is urns.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it sounds
No,
weird,
they're beautiful. Like I love those. Tony makes some beautiful ones. That's
yeah.
what is that? Spalted beech?
That's spalting oak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it. God, that's gorgeous.
Yeah. This one is. I mean, yeah.
One of my friends he teased me one time. He's like, you need to change the name of your woodworking business from Newman Specials to Spalted Maple and Walnut Woodworks. Those are my favorite. Like I love spalted maple and pair it with walnut. Like the two of them just go together to me. Like
Yeah. I know. I'm in your team. Yeah.
so what would you say is your biggest challenge learning to turn? What do you think was the hardest thing for you to get through?
One day it clicked, and and now and today it's so obvious, but you need to understand wood grain before. That's why people are so scared about the traditional turning tools. Is they don't understand the wood grain, so they will have catch. But
Right.
if you know where the grain is going, you don't have problems. I mean, it's so easy. But for me, that was the thing. I was going with upcuts, with the traditional turning tools. That's why I started with carbides, like most of people. And I
Yeah.
still use carbides on some things. But yeah, you need to understand wood grain. I would say that would be my first tip, and the only one actually. The rest is just practice, like the tool presentation and everything. It's one day it's gonna click. You just need to turn and turn and turn, and one day it's gonna click, and then yeah, you're gonna be a great turner.
So again, you know, that's one of those things you don't think about I mean, I think about wood grain when I'm making furniture, when I'm making things more to figure out how it's going to move or how it looks lined up. I didn't think about it in terms of having to worry about my tools catching on it quite the same
Yeah.
way. All right. Okay. So someone who wants to start turning, right? The first thing you want them to do is learn that. What's the difference? Here's the other thing I want to know. You mentioned carbide. I know that there's carbide tools, whatever the hell they're called, and then there's just regular steel, hardened steel.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's not just that. That's the shape too. So you have more like chisel types or gouges,
right,
and the other thing that's just little piece of carbides at the tip of tools. So you have the round one, the square one, and the
right.
diamond shaped one. Um, Again, it all depends on your budget. Like if you're on a budget, I would suggest to start with the carbides, which I was at the beginning. And you don't have to buy the fancy EasyWood Tools one, even though I think they're the best. But um, yeah, you can start with that. But if you have the money, just go ahead and buy a nice set of traditional tools. You don't even have to buy a full set. Just start with the roughing gouge. That would be my advice. Like buy a lathe, the lathe you can afford, and buy a roughing gouge first, and then learn how to use the roughing gouge. And it's not that difficult. Once you learn that, buy a SKU instead of buying like I don't know, a set that costs maybe $100, but it's crappy. You have 52 tools, but they're all crappy. Buy a roughing gouge, like a $100 roughing gouge, and then the next month you buy a SKU, and then you buy a bowl gouge and a detail gouge. So you're going to end up with a nice piece of kit, and
It's
you're going to
almost
learn
like
every tool at the same time.
it's
Every
almost
tool.
that's a lot like buying one of those Chinese router kits where you get, 50 routers, 50 bits for, I don't know, $32. And then
Yeah.
you use them once and go, oh, this is a piece of crap.
Yeah, the shaft just bent, and
Just start with traditional. You will progress quicker. One of these
yeah.
days, like I got to get in there and try stuff. All right. So,
Yeah, and you know what? By the way, that's what I want to do this year is start teaching on social, because now the shop is I mean there's just so many tools you can fit in there, and I'm
yeah.
gonna start producing more educational content for people, maybe by doing lives and things like that. But I want to teach people like you how to turn.
Well, and that's funny because that brings me into this next question that I wanted to ask you is how has your journey, what are some ways your journey as a content creator has changed your approach to making things? How is how you make things impact your content creation? How are these two things coming together?
That's funny because now I'm just thinking about camera angles
Mhm.
and how it can be funny. So I don't focus more. I don't focus on the job, which can be bad at some point because I don't have great projects so far on my channel. I have a couple, but not like I'm focusing on humor and video shots. I
Right.
always say that I prefer making videos than making woodworking. But I like woodworking. It's just
Yeah.
because I prefer videos, and but I want to get more into, like, the thing I would never do is getting out with one video a week. If I can, I will. But if I can't, I won't rush myself to go with one video a week. I just want to create a project, like the best project I can make, and it's gonna take the time it's gonna take.
So, I mean, there's no way around that. It's going to take time and everything else. But so like, all right, what's your favorite project that you've done on camera?
There's two things. There's the first stage tool I made for a comedian here called Sam Breton. The show is called Au Pic Puis Appel, which is with a pick and a shovel.
Yeah. And
It, it's loosely
this
translated, but what?
this table was seen by 22,000 people. Is that
Oh no,
the
that's the second project.
okay?
That first one, that's a tool. That's a stage tool. But
Okay.
on one leg there's a shovel, and on the other there's a pick, and like a nice pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second project is the table I made with Paul Jackman,
Okay.
and it was for the podcast. That's another comedian. He made the belt center here
Yeah.
in Montreal with that table. That was pretty cool. The build was cool, and the end was cool too.
So, all right. So I want you to think about, for me, like, you're making this. Are you planning out the different camera angles? This is purely me thinking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
content creation because you 100% are a better filmmaker than I am by far. I've seen the good stuff, the stuff that you do, and I want to learn from you right now. So you're planning out this project, right? Are you planning out your camera angles before you start? Are you doing it and stopping, going, you know what? I need the camera over here.
No, I'm just winging it, but for each step, I'm trying to get at least three camera angles, like a wide angle, a close up, and another one where you barely can see what I'm doing, but you see my butt and everything. So I can just cut everything,
Yeah.
even for making a reel, even if it's a 15-second video, I can just play with those clips and make it fit together well. So sometimes I'm working on a leg, but I'm screwing it up, but I'm making another one, and I take the other shot that goes with the first one, and you can't see anything.
So, what are you using for your stuff? What kind are you using? Just your phone? You using a couple different cameras?
Well, in the last 2 years, I'm just using my phone with Adobe Rush. That's the Premiere version on the phone, but I'm also using Premiere
Okay.
on computer.
You're so much more complicated than I am. I just use my phone. I was gonna buy a camera this past year, and I bought one from Amazon, and it was a really crappy camera, and I immediately sent
I
it back.
know. You can do it all with the phone right now. Especially, I don't know. Are you Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
Yeah, and the new one, you can plug a hard drive on it,
Yeah,
man. And the
yeah.
camera is better than most camera I've used.
I got a USB drive for it, so I just took
Yeah,
that and like
yeah. I'm gonna keep filming with my phone,
yeah.
no matter what happened. Unless I have someone, unless I'm making like a documentary or something, and I have a crew or. But if I'm making content for myself, I'm gonna use my phone. I
Yeah,
mean, what I'm doing here right now is I'm restoring a chair here. So I'm just there. I'm in the garage. I'm shooting the steps, and then I'm just sitting there on the stairs. I'm editing the video. I'm posting the video, and I got back in the home, eat dinner, and that's it. My content is made for the day.
oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
Um, and spending time with the beautiful little girl. Um,
Yep.
so talk to me about you know, what is it? I'm trying to think how I want to ask and how I want to put this. Um, what projects do you have that you are looking forward to coming up? And more importantly, how do you keep yourself motivated whenever you find that your things aren't going the way that you want?
Oh man, I'm struggling with happiness since I'm a teenager, man. That's like content creation is something that keeps me up, keeps me smiling because people like you and
Yeah,
followers and things like that. So when I don't have any motivation, I'm just doing nothing. Like instead of filming me grumpy, I just don't film myself.
yeah,
Um, but I'm rarely down when I'm in my tiny garage. Like I'm always happy here when I'm making things. And when I don't feel the need to film something, I'm just making things. I'm just playing with tools without filming it. And I got this smile. Sometimes I'm having an argument with Stephanie because things happen, And, and I
I know that
just
well.
yeah, I just tell her, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go in the garage for 5-10 minutes and I'll be back and I'll be smiley again. And that works.
Yeah. I mean, I think well, first of all, I think it's kind of not funny that you say that, but it seems that that's a common refrain that the funniest people often have some of the hardest, like they feel more depressed.
Yeah.
Um, and that, I mean, that's one of the things I've heard. So uh,
Yeah.
now I
And
worry
it's
about,
true. Well, at least in my case, it's true.
I just want to give you a big hug there, buddy. Um, Jason Sullivan asked first, what mic do you like to use?
Oh, I don't know nothing about mics, so I'm using the microphone that's on my phone.
I'm using the microphone that's on my camera, or on my laptop here, so I hope it
But you
sounds
know what?
good.
I make sound design still. Like when I'm doing something and I want to add a funny bit, or like sometimes I'm using the miter saw when I'm
Yeah,
doing something, but I'm filming the sound separately and
yeah,
I'm editing. I think like the microphone on the phone is as good as the camera.
yeah, yeah. They're both good. So I like to hear that. One of the big things I was talking to Sam Raymundi last week, and we talk about motivation and how hard it is to stay motivated, especially as a content creator. And this is a big part of your life is content creation and getting things out there, and it's hard to stay motivated. Um,
Well,
and I
it's not
really,
my main source of income. So that's not. I don't need motivation to make content, and I want to keep it that way, man. I don't. I don't want to make. I don't want to create content for a living. Otherwise, I'll go crazy. This
yeah,
is my safe space, man. I don't want to. Of course, I did some work through content creation, and I got a lot of tools because content creation, but that's not how I. Yeah, that's not my bread.
Good. I mean, that's good. I feel the same way. Like we've talked about this a couple of times. Someone
Because
asked,
I did furniture. I did make furniture for a living, and that's horrible, man.
yeah,
Being a
well,
woodworker for a living, that's that. Well, for me, maybe
well,
for
there,
someone else that would work, man.
I mean, there are plenty of people that it works for. My problem is I feel like it's always a hustle. You have to hustle to get the next job. You finish this job. What's my next one? How am I going to
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
going? And I know some guys, I know a guy here who he started off doing it by accident. Literally by accident. He made something during COVID. Someone liked it and he wound up making another one. And now he's to the point where he's still working out of his garage, but his wife quit her full-time job and she works for him doing, a lot of the paperwork, a lot of the stuff. And he's looking to hire out some of the stuff he has to do. He's just that busy. People come to him. He doesn't advertise, people come to him. And that's awesome.
Yep.
I don't work fast enough for that. I really don't. I can't get stuff done fast enough. And every time I do, I feel like I screw something up and I've got a lot of pressure on me. And I don't like that. I prefer to
Yeah.
have fun with it.
And the thing here is I don't want to do flat woodworking anymore. I really want to do more turnings and things like that. But that urn I just showed you, like it took me, I worked on that for 2 weeks.
Wow.
More than that, actually, for 10 years because it has. I let it dry before, and with all the work I've put into that. But let's say real work, I've put maybe, I don't know, 20 hours in that bowl, in that urn. But 20 hours, man, how much you want me to sell that? Because I spread it throughout maybe 2 weeks. I can
Yeah.
sell that at like $5,000,
Right.
even though it's worth it. Same thing for bowls.
Right.
I mean, you buy just the piece. I have a piece of black walnut there that cost me $200. That's a crutch. I made a bowl with that, but just the piece cost me $200.
Well, that's one of the things we've talked about in the past as well, is it's really difficult whenever you're, you know, like a good example is the end grain cutting boards. You can't, and Ryan, if Ryan's still on here, Ryan spent a billion hours making however many of them, however many cutting boards he had to make. You can't charge enough for the cutting boards you make because you put so much work into some of them between
Yeah,
cutting and gluing and the end grain stuff. And most of us don't have that type of person around them who's willing to spend $400 for a
right.
cutting board.
Yeah.
So,
No,
all
that's the
right.
thing. So that's why I prefer making things to get. Well, in the past 2 years, that was creating videos to get tools, and then the thing I'm making in the video, I can give it to friends or family, and that's my reward. I would prefer to give you a bowl instead of
Yeah.
selling like that woman who will argue with me. Oh, that's not worth it. No, maybe not. I'm gonna give it to my friend instead.
Well, that's there's something to be said for putting the time into something that you're giving away, because that person also knows how much work you put into it. Um, Thinking about my the snake tambour door that I
Yeah,
did make, that was
the one
so much.
that I almost won.
You almost won,
Yeah.
Jimmy. When I went up there, I heard Jimmy saying that he wanted to win it.
I wanted to win it too.
I'll have to make you one. I will work for tools. I love you guys.
No,
Um,
but you need to teach me how to. That's a deal. I'm gonna teach you how to turn, and you need to teach me how to make 3D stuff on the
yeah,
CNC.
yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, I have a limited amount of information of how to do it. I did not design the image, so
That's
that's
fine.
where I'm. Yeah,
You
it,
place it in a piece of art,
yeah.
and
That
that's
that
what I want to learn.
I have another one I want to make. I have a couple of those like in my head, and for me, it's just finding time to make that stuff. So let me ask you
Can you
last
make
two
can
questions.
you make me naked in the water, like just the belly getting out of the water in my face, with
I mean, I I feel like that would look a little bit like a whale, with uh, maybe a small crustacean stuck to it. I don't know. Um, how do you hope that you can inspire future woodworkers? Like, what's your journey? How do you want that to inspire other people?
Um, I realized after making fun that I have the potential to influence someone.
Yeah.
Well, in a good way. There were so much children, and even here in the neighborhood, each time I'm opening the garage door, and that sounds weird, like the big bearded man.
No, I get
when
it.
he opens the garage door,
Yeah.
get a lots of kids. Yeah, but yeah, I just hope I can. You know what? I want to teach people how to stay happy, because even I'm struggling with that. I'm managing to make it work, and I want to teach happiness throughout that influence thing, and I think it starts young. And each time I'm seeing like a children who is impressed by Canadian path, which I am not. I mean, I'm not impressed with myself, but when I see little guys and little girls looking at me like if I were God, man, I don't have choice just to try to share something nice with them. I don't know if it makes sense. I mean, I'm still not. Yeah.
So let me give you this. I, as an adult, so I am going to be 52 in 2 months, right? I remember there was a guy down the street from me who every time he opened his garage door, we would stop by, we would look in there and see all his tools. When our bikes broke, we would go to him and he would fix our bikes. Like, we would go to him for all of that stuff. And that, I mean, I remember him. So that's an inspirational guy right there.
That's the old man I want to be.
Yeah, that's definitely you. I can see that. Where would you like to be in 5 years?
Again, I want to be happy. Of course, I'd like to get a bigger space, but not much. I mean, I would need maybe 3 times that space. I don't want more than that. I don't want like the big giant shop. Jimmy has that, and he's my friend. I can go there whenever I want. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you don't need a much bigger space if you're not going to be doing more production for business, right? You're doing this for fun.
I just want a space big enough for me to keep creating content, and that's all. Yeah, I want my girlfriend and my daughter to be happy. That's one of the thing since a year now that I'm more concerned about. I'm not concerned about me anymore. I just want my girls to be happy.
Well, and having that shop there and being able to teach your daughter as the time goes on and play with her in the shop will be amazing too.
Yeah.
I have my daughter, actually 2 years ago, my daughter came with me to Maker Camp. That time that I tried to talk to you at Maker Camp and you turned your back on me and ignored me. That time.
You were with your daughter? You didn't tell me that.
Oh, so you.
Now I feel even more sad about that.
No. So this for the people who are still here. I first met Pat at Maker Camp. I tried to talk to him because I overheard him talking about something with someone. And I was like, oh, I need to interject on this because I have some information. And I said something and they both turned to me and looked at me and went, and turned back to each other. It's fair. I interrupted a conversation, number one, that you were having with someone else. Number two, it was Sunday. Sunday is always the worst day. But my daughter,
everybody's like, ugh.
But my daughter turned a pen that day, and she still has that pen and loves it. She had a great time. So
tell her that I'm sorry.
she has turned more things and made more on a lathe than I have.
Do you have a lathe?
No.
Okay. Are you planning to buy one?
No.
Oh,
because it'll be addictive, and I'll never get rid of it. And I want a bigger lathe, and then I'm going to have to enter into a sponsorship program with Harvey to get a big one, and then I won't need my CNC and my laser, and I'll have to clean out the entire shop, and all I'll have is like 6 different lathes going at the same time, and I'm going to have a turning tool in each hand and maybe one in a foot, and that's what I'm going to do if I start with the Harbor Freight lathe. That's what's going to happen. So no, damn it, I will not get a lathe.
I can understand that.
That's what
but it's fun. It's fun.
Is that your little? Yes, she is a better turner than I am. Is that the little sanding tool? You got a little hand sander?
Yeah, I'm using that a lot.
Look, the hands look the same size right there. All right, so we are at our hour.
Look at that.
I'm sorry that we were not able to go. They look. That's so funny. I'm sorry we weren't able to go live on Instagram. I don't know what happened there. I will post a follow up, and I'm gonna make sure that people know it's linked. Like I said, this is only the second time that I've done it this way. I wanted to be able to go through YouTube and wherever else I am. So I do apologize. I really, really thank you for coming on. For everybody who's here, I want to make sure you guys know next week I'm going to try again to do both. I'm going to have Mike Williams from Calavera Tools on here. He's a great guy. Creepy. Oh, the hands. He's talking about the hands. That's just Ryan. He's creepy anyway. You know what? He's got such a tiny little beard. We can't even talk about him. I don't know. He doesn't know how to grow a big one. There you go. I love it. So Calavera Tools will be on next week. And then a week after that will be Graz. So I need to point out to him that you were on first. You're better. Oh, someone asked, I don't know if they're still here. Where did you make your helmet or did you buy it?
No, I made that. I bought. I can send you the link so you can put it in the comments somewhere. I bought the helmet, the face mask, and then I bought Viking horns on Amazon, and I just put it there. And yeah.
All right. It's iconic. I will say it's iconic. All right. I'm going to end this.
All right.
Again, thank you for being here, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Well, guys.
Say good night.
Bye-bye.